Hi, thank you for tuning in. I hope you caught the last episode where we shared about succession, what succession is. I'll be continuing that conversation today about how exactly to plan for succession when you're investing in land. It's better to do it in advance instead of waiting until something happens. Certainly, if you move to heaven before everyone else, you have no say in the process thereafter. So how do you plan in advance to make sure that your loved ones and whoever you intend to benefit from your investments doesn't have any issues? You're watching On Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. So how do you plan for succession? These are some of my thoughts, and this is something I think about critically because I have children. I have a lovely wife and 3 children, and every decision I make ever since they were born always has them in my perspective because their quality of life, the opportunities they will enjoy in their future, any advantages they have or disadvantages for that matter, very largely depend on my decisions and their mother's decisions today. So it's something I take very seriously, and it's one of the reasons that we incorporated a company 5.5 years ago to make our land investments, because it's a lot easier to create structures within the corporate regime, within the laws, even in terms of tax planning and so on. It's a lot easier to do than you would as an individual. Yes, I do lose some bragging rights as far as ego is concerned by not having property registered in my personal name, for example. May sound silly, but a lot of people make decisions based on this very fact. I want the property in my name. I want the title to have my name. I don't want some random company that doesn't really say anything about me owning the property. And I think it's wise as you make investments in land to think about succession. So what do you do? First thing I would recommend you do is be very clear about your goal, again, as far as investing is concerned. Are you going to hold this property for a long period of time, or is it short? What do you intend to do? Do you have children? Are you married? Are you single? In my view, I don't think any answer to any of those questions should make a difference, because you should plan in advance for when you're no longer here anyway. Because, it's been said before, the only certain things in life are taxes and death. It would be foolish for you not to plan for that as you make investments in land. So the first thing I would recommend is you determine your goal. Second thing I would do is engage the services of a qualified and licensed professional. There are attorneys out there who specialize in this very issue: succession, trusts, and so on. And that's very different from conveyancing lawyers. That's very different from litigation lawyers, employment lawyers. So you need to work with the right one who can guide you around thinking and planning around this. Another good professional for you to work with is a tax attorney. You'll find many of them working in accounting firms. Some do work for legal entities, but I find the best ones to consult are those that work in accounting firms, professional accounting firms. I don't mind sharing that we ourselves consult the services or professional services of one of the biggest accounting firms, because we are a business after all. We have to work at that level, at KPMG to be specific, because they know things about the tax code with regards to property and succession that I would have no hope of finding. There's a reason people go to school for 4 years, 5 years, and sit a bar exam to get qualified to give this advice. So do not be shy about spending a little bit extra. You are talking about your precious investment after all. I don't see the sense in nickel and diming yourself as far as engaging the professional services of a qualified individual to help you navigate this process. After that, you can then implement the various strategies that they would recommend. Buying in the name of a company is a good way to do so. You could be the sole owner with one other individual. The new constitution and business registration laws allow you to own a company alone, and not as a sole proprietorship, but as a single director. That's one way to go. You could create trusts that survive you. You know, one of the limitations with companies is that after you die, you know, the ownership of the company has to change the very same way that the ownership of the property does. So trusts, I find, are a better way to deal with this issue because they survive your death, and you can leave instructions in advance with regards to what you want to happen with the property after your death. And that will save a lot of problems for your loved ones and people that you intended to benefit from your investments while you're here. So that would be my 2 cents regarding succession. Engage the services of a professional after you've determined your goals, and do not spare any costs. It may feel like much now, but it's gonna feel a lot cheaper later, not just for you, but more so for those that survive you. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to share your questions on our social media platforms. Facebook page is up. You can send us your questions on our YouTube channel after you subscribe. Of course, you can also give us a call, 0700010001. Again, that's 0700010001. And we'll be happy to engage with you. If you have no questions, you just have comments to share, maybe you've gone through this experience before, feel free to share. Many others who follow or subscribe to our channel may benefit from your experience as well. You've been watching Own Land in Kenya. I am Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.